Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, JV, coming to you live this Monday afternoon. Today is Monday, September 2nd, 2024. It is Labor Day. Happy Labor Day to those of you that are actually working today, working hard to make a living, to fatten your paycheck even more, because here in the United States, for those of you that are watching outside of the States, today is a holiday. So that means that people that are actually working a payroll job, they're making probably time and a half or maybe even double time today. So if you're making $15 an hour, typically today you're going to get paid $30 an hour, or maybe $24 or $22.50. But anyway, it's either time and a half or double time. So that's why I'm saying that if you're working today on Labor Day, you're padding your paycheck. You're padding it big time. Anyway, tonight I'm going to be traveling to Mexico City. I will be heading to the Aztec capital and I'm going to be spending a couple of weeks down there. And I'm definitely looking forward to that trip. But I wanted to talk today about the ever increasing situation that I have with respect to trusting people in general. The ever increasing lack of trust, for lack of a better term, that I have for human beings nowadays. After the incident that I suffered back on August 6th, last month, when my car was broken into and they stole my airbag system, I really started to have distrust for human beings in general. And ever since that event, I've been really paying attention to my surroundings now, more so than ever in public, to the point that I think I'm becoming paranoid. I think I am losing all trust in my human beings, even though this morning I went to the local grocery store. I usually go to the grocery store every morning and I get myself a Frappuccino. You know, those frozen Frappuccinos that you see me in other videos sipping on it. And as I was getting ready to go to the check stand, there was this couple that was in front of me, and they had a pretty full cart full of items. And I was behind them, and I only had that Frappuccino. And all of a sudden, the lady grabbed the Frappuccino and put it in the other side of the conveyor belt. And I thought that maybe she thought that her husband was going to buy a Frappuccino, and I told her, no, that's actually my item. And she's like, didn't say anything, handed it to the cashier, and then the cashier just scanned it, and she grabbed the coffee and gave it to me, and she's like, there you go. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure you're paying for this? And I almost wanted to pull out my wallet, but she's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Here you go. You're set. You're ready to go. And I was like, wow, this has never happened to me before. A person actually paying for my stuff at the local grocery store without even knowing who I was. So maybe that example or that experience is resuscitating my trust in human beings. And I told him Merry Christmas, even though it's September the 2nd. I was like, Merry Christmas, and she just laughed, and I just walked out of the grocery store, and I was like, wow, what a nice lady. She actually bought the Frappuccino for me. But anyway, sorry for going off on a tangent as I normally do on my videos. I really don't have any trust for people anymore. I don't like walking around at night anymore, especially if I'm all by myself. And then when I do have to go outside, I typically look over my shoulder constantly. I'm looking around. I'm very paranoid and seeing, people that are out and about. And things are getting pretty ugly out there. They really are. I mean, I don't know if you guys heard what happened to a San Francisco 49er rookie player a couple of days ago. I think it was on the weekend over in San Francisco at Union Square. He actually got shot because a 17-year-old punk wanted to rob him. And so he shot him in broad daylight. And Union Square, for God's sakes. It wasn't Hunter's Point. It wasn't at the Tenderloin. It wasn't at the Mission District. It was actually in one of the most touristy parts of San Francisco at Union Square. So, I mean, you can't even trust anybody anymore. You just can't. And, yeah, I've been finding myself more and more untrusted or not having trust for human beings. And here I am going to one of the most largest cities in the world, Mexico City. Definitely has its dangers. I've been to Mexico City since 2021. I've probably been there about a dozen times, about 10 or 11 times. And knocking wood, I have never been, nothing has happened to me to this point. I hope and pray that I'm not jinxing myself. But it is a dangerous city nonetheless. And you don't want to be out and about at night, especially in neighborhoods that you're not familiar with. And so I'm going to be taking all the precautionary measures that I can possibly take when I'm down there. I'm going to be hanging out with my girlfriend, and I'm going to be hanging out with with her family members. So that's a plus, that I actually know someone there in Mexico City, and I'm not going by myself. But nonetheless, it's still a dangerous place, and I gotta definitely be on maximum alert when I'm down there. During the daytime, during the afternoon, I'll probably not be. You're not gonna see me out and about much on the during the evenings. I'll probably just be drinking alcohol, be drinking beer throughout my stay there at night, because it helps me relax. It relaxes me and it helps me go to sleep earlier. But yeah, man, ever since that incident of August 6th, I remember it as though it was yesterday when they broke into my car. I have just lost complete trust in people. I don't know why that is. Prior to that incident, I had never experienced any traumatic experience like that. I really didn't even think about it. Always taking my precautions, of course. Always making sure, like I mentioned, not to be out and about at night. Not exposing myself to the dangers and the unsafe places that are out there at night, when you can be very vulnerable and you can be attacked, especially, well, anywhere in the world, not just here in where I live, but pretty much anywhere. I mean, there's always dangers. I remember when I went to London a couple of years ago. This was also in broad daylight. It was about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was walking around with my sisters and my brothers-in-laws and my niece and nephew. And in front of us, there was this Mexican family that was also tourists. And they were walking in front of us, and then all of a sudden the traffic light turned red. So we were just waiting there for the traffic light to turn back green. And while that was happening, there was this guy, this teenager, young man, that was holding his phone. He was looking at his phone, typically like everybody else does these days. He was looking at his phone, and then all of a sudden, from the right side of my peripheral vision, I see this bicyclist that was just riding his bike very quickly, and before you knew it, he snatched the smartphone and just took off like nothing. He did it in a split second, it seemed. And I had never seen it. I haven't seen it anywhere in any place that I've traveled anywhere that I've traveled abroad, and I've been to South America, I've been to Central America, I've been to Europe, I've never seen a display of a robbery like I did on that occasion. And we're talking about London here, which is supposed to be one of the most securest cities in the world, right? It's a developed country, it's a world-class city, and yet that's the one place where I saw robbery take place. So I don't trust people anymore, and I'm gonna take all my precautionary measures, like I said, to make sure that I am as safe as possible on this trip coming up tomorrow. So I will be seeing you. I will be making a video. Next time I make a video, it will be probably from Mexico City at some point tomorrow. Anyway, just wanted to relate my story once again. Thank you so much for watching as usual, and enjoy the rest of your Labor Day. If you're gonna be barbecuing or if you're gonna go to the beach, have a great time. And if you're working, good for you guys. If you're working, like I mentioned, you're probably making a boatload of money today, because it's time and a half or double time today as a holiday pay. Have a great one. See ya.